Have you ever felt that quiet whisper in your soul, that uneasy stirring that tells you something is off, even when everything looks fine on the surface? It's that moment when your spirit recognizes a distortion long before your mind can name it. You feel the disconnect in your bones, the closeness that feels hollow, the touch that feels rehearsed, the smile that doesn't reach the eyes. That's the mark of being entangled with the narcissist. Because for the narcissist, intimacy isn't a meeting of hearts, it's a performance. It's not about love, trust, or safety. It's about control, adoration, and power. What you see in public and what happens in private are often two different worlds. One shines, the other deceives. And when you live long enough behind both, your soul begins to ache for something real. 1. The hidden face of desire. The narcissist wears masks crafted to perfection. Out in the world, the image gleams, moral, humble, refined. The narcissist might quote faith, preach self-discipline, or even claim a holy restraint. But when the doors close, the illusion fades. Behind that calm exterior lives another reality, a hunger cloaked in secrecy. At first, it all feels safe. You think you've met someone stable, trustworthy, maybe even spiritual. They may speak of purity, of waiting, of virtue. Yet, much of it is theater, a role designed to disarm your suspicion and earn your trust. In truth, the narcissist may lead a double life, chasing risky indulgences while maintaining the facade of integrity. That contradiction, the light they project and the darkness they hide, is how they hold power. By the time you glimpse the cracks, the web is already tightened around you. 2. The endless thirst for validation. Unlike hearts that find peace and love returned, the narcissist survives on applause. One voice of admiration is never enough. They crave a chorus. The narcissist collects admirers like trophies, each one a reflection to remind them they still matter. This isn't love. It's feeding time. The narcissist seeks constant proof of importance, and when one well runs dry, another must be found. They flirt, provoke, and manipulate, always searching for that surge of attention that keeps the ego alive. They may look devoted, disciplined, or family-centered in public, but behind that image lies a restless hunger. The need never stops, and neither does the deceit. 3. The pursuit of novelty and control. For the narcissist, ordinary intimacy feels like a cage. Familiarity becomes dull, and stability feels suffocating. So they seek newness, not to grow closer, but to feel powerful again. They push limits, not for love, but for domination. The partner becomes a stage, a mirror, a tool. This hunger for stimulation blinds them to the sacred beauty of connection. They chase novelty not to explore joy, but to escape emptiness. And those who stand in their orbit often end up drained, questioning their worth, wondering why love feels like a battlefield. Protect your peace. When excitement is confused for control, pain always follows. 4. Their war with boredom. Boredom to the narcissist is like darkness to a moth, intolerable. They can't sit with quiet or contentment because silence forces them to face what's missing inside. So they run, toward distractions, toward people, toward anything that makes them feel alive for another minute. Even if you give your best, it's never enough. Once the thrill fades, they rewrite the story. They'll say the relationship lost its spark, or that you stopped trying. But the truth is, the fire was never real. It was borrowed light from your devotion. When the narcissist leaves, it's not because you weren't enough. It's because nothing ever fills a heart that's built on emptiness. 5. The absence of emotional intimacy. Where love seeks to give, the narcissist seeks to take. Intimacy, to them, is not a sacred exchange but a transaction. It's about gratification, not connection. Once the desire is satisfied, the warmth fades and the walls rise again. Partners of narcissists often describe a coldness that creeps in, a silence after the storm, a distance that feels both deliberate and cruel. That's because the narcissist doesn't seek closeness, closeness threatens the illusion. They fear being known because to be known is to be seen, and to be seen is to lose control. So they withdraw, leaving their partners feeling invisible, confused, and emotionally starved. 6. The secret escape into fantasy. When the real world stops feeding their ego, the narcissist retreats into fantasy, a hidden world of indulgence and illusion. Many develop private rituals involving adult content, exploring darker corners of desire that contradict everything they claim to be. They do it in secrecy, late at night, when no one's watching, when their image is safe. This isn't just about lust, it's about escape. Fantasy becomes a place where the narcissist can be powerful without judgment, desired without effort, admired without intimacy. It's a mirror that never talks back. And yet, every moment spent there deepens the divide between who they are and who they pretend to be. The secrecy is the real addiction, the thrill of being untouchable, unseen, undiscovered. The narcissist fears exposure more than guilt because truth is the one light their darkness can endure. 7. The obsession with cleanliness. There's a curious pattern you'll often find in the narcissist, an almost sacred obsession with cleanliness. To the untrained eye, it looks like discipline, even self-respect. But to the discerning heart, it tells another story. The narcissist may shower again and again, scrubbing as though water could wash away guilt. Each rinse becomes a ritual, a desperate attempt to cleanse what conscience can't. This isn't about soap or scent, it's about shame. When the image they wear in public starts to crack under the weight of their secret indulgences, they try to polish it again through ritual purity. Yet, no matter how hard they scrub, the stain remains inside. And so, they project. They accuse others of being careless, of not being clean enough, when in truth they are fighting the dirt within their own soul. This fixation is the outward expression of an inner war, the clash between the flawless mask they show and the hidden darkness they can't escape. 8. The link between intimacy and validation. For the narcissist, intimacy is rarely about love. It's about applause. Every touch, every word, every breath becomes a performance meant to feed the ego. The narcissist doesn't seek connection, only admiration. To be praised, to be worshipped, to be told they're unmatched, that's the true goal. They give not to share, but to receive. They pull back from any act that demands vulnerability because real closeness threatens the illusion. Intimacy becomes a stage where they can shine without surrendering control. And while you might mistake their passion for devotion, it's often just vanity in disguise. For them, the greatest high isn't love, it's being adored. 9. The disregard for boundaries. Boundaries mean nothing to the narcissist. Where others see sacred lines of respect, the narcissist sees opportunity. The rules that hold ordinary people in balance, empathy, consent, consideration, those are chains the narcissist refuses to wear. If they want something, they take it. If someone says no, they twist the moment until no becomes yes. Their sense of entitlement runs deep. Their desires always outweigh your comfort. And when the harm is done, they justify it. They minimize it. They tell stories that turn cruelty into misunderstanding. The truth is simple. The narcissist doesn't see people as hearts to cherish, but as instruments to play. That's why their love often leaves you hollow. Because it was never about you at all, only about what you could give before you were emptied. 10. The crushing loneliness of loving a narcissist. At first, the narcissist makes you feel chosen. They flood your world with warmth and attention until you start to believe you've found something divine. But that light doesn't last. It fades as quickly as it arrived, leaving behind a silence that echoes through your soul. You begin to notice the distance, the affection replaced by indifference, the partnership turned into routine. You live beside the narcissist, but not with them. You talk, but you're not heard. You reach out, but your hand meets air. And while you ache for connection, the narcissist seeks admiration elsewhere, in new conversations, new bodies, new sources of validation. This is their pattern, their dance of deception. In public, the narcissist glows with charm and respectability. In private, the truth is darker, a life of contradictions, fear and craving. Behind every mask lies an emptiness they're desperate to hide. Their entire performance is built on one fear, being truly seen. That's why love with a narcissist often feels like standing in a spotlight alone, bright, exposed, and yet invisible. You pour out your heart, but they're already gone, chasing the next mirror that reflects them better. But here's the good news. Once you see the game, you can stop playing. Once you name the illusion, it loses its hold. The narcissist thrives in confusion, but your clarity is their undoing. So guard your peace. Reclaim your power. Remember that love isn't supposed to make you feel small. It's meant to lift you, steady you, remind you who you are. When you walk away from the narcissist's shadow, you don't lose love, you rediscover it. You remember that your worth was never dependent on someone else's approval. You were whole all along. And that, my friend, is where healing begins.